live. This is Mark right now. My special guest, Coach Jesse Martinez, Brownsville Lopez softball coach. Coach, how's it going? Thank you for being with us today.
Going well, going well. Like I said, I wish I was hitting ground balls and fly balls out there today, but unfortunately, we're not able to go to school anymore, so I have to work from home.
Yeah, unfortunately, schools have been trickling in, not only in the Rio Grande Valley, but across Texas and here in the coastal bend where I'm currently at right now. But it's happening along the way. But Coach, especially in the last month or so, I mean, there's been a lot of moving parts. Strength and conditioning coming back, now them shutting down once again. Just what's it been like for you as a coach? Just trying to stay diligent and on your toes about all this.
Been difficult, Mark. We're trying to keep the kids motivated. As you know, the season was canceled, so that was a very unfortunate happening. We have no choice considering the pandemic. The kids were, disappointed, especially those seniors that didn't have a season this year. But otherwise, I mean, we've been doing the best that we can. We did get back here, did a little bit of work, and now we're back to another standstill. But it's been difficult, as far as softball. Summer's important, without the ability to get out there and practice, the ability to go out and play. Kids aren't getting better, and they want to, but, we can only sit and wait. That's all we can do right now, Mark.
Yeah, Coach, I know you, just like a lot of coaches from the area, have had a lot of, girls go play travel ball, and you talk about summer being important, whether it be going to camps, whether it be going to play in tournaments. I know there's been a couple of tournaments here in the last couple of weeks, and there was going to be another one this weekend up north in San Marcos, but, obviously those have been canceled again. But, just so, as a coach, what's the important, and, how do you think it affects the athlete, to miss out on time like this? It's very vital.
Yes, well, the development phase for some of these kids, especially the freshmen, sophomores that are coming into a varsity level sport, they have to see the older girls. They have to improve, and so not being able to do that, it's going to affect them individually. We do have a bunch of girls, sophomores, and some incoming freshmen actually at Lopez that are very good. A couple of kids that were very impressive. I got to see them for a week, and they are very good athletes, ball players that are really going to contribute to our program. And I know other programs have kids like that too. That unfortunately, there's nothing we can do. I mean, we made an effort this year as all the 6 Brownsville schools. We got together and we were going to start a league. Our initial date was the 8th. That was stopped by the county, and then the 15th that was stopped again. They're going to reevaluate next Monday to see if we can use their fields, because we can't use our fields, obviously. That at this point we're being told, we can coordinate, as you know, with the UIL, but we can't coordinate without a field. We can't practice. Yeah. There's nowhere to practice, nowhere to play. So we're basically dependent on what the county and what the city is doing as far as field usage and such. Personally, we really need to work here at Lopez. I know other programs such as Porter and, Pace, they're up and coming. They got tremendous athletes, good coaches out there that really need to work. Like I said, Rayner over there at Veterans was one that spearheaded this and was able to get us going as far as getting the field and such. Can't do it anymore. We're sitting here, twiddling our thumbs and hoping something will happen soon. It doesn't look good, but we keep pushing forward, Mark, and hopefully get our girls to get out there and swing the bat.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a lot of coaches sharing that sentiment. It seemed like there was just like a lot of just last week. I talked to some coaches. I talked to Coach BISD, Coach Davies over there for Harlingen. It seems like the morale was really high, and hopefully the morale kind of stays like that and hopeful even with these cancellations, Coach. So just pulling for everybody out there. We really want sports to come back. But let's talk about y'all's season. You guys had a couple of games. How many games did you get in this year, Coach?
Oh, Coach, I think we got about 10 games, a couple of tournaments, and we certainly got 3 games in with our district season. We were very young, Coach, very inexperienced. We struggled. We had some bright moments. I did have some seniors that came back, good solid athletes that I was really disappointed the season would end because their individual performance, I think, would have been phenomenal. A couple of girls, such as Bianca Holguin, our first baseman, Larissa Moody, and Erin Garcia, and certainly Becky Ibarra. Excellent ball players. We're looking forward for their individual performance. Unfortunately, we lost some good pitchers. We have some pitchers that are developing, and we struggle in that area. And we struggle in terms of games. But it was disappointing. I mean, we had, like I said, we did have some bright moments. I wish it would have gone on and played some games. I mean, personally, I was looking forward to seeing my seniors perform and play well. I've got a couple of solid juniors also that I'm looking forward to them seeing them next year in Rosie Sanchez and Miranda Hernandez. The other thing was disappointing to me was, being a softball coach, and seeing the good teams like Mercedes come out. I've seen them play for a while, and I was actually looking forward to them playing in the playoffs and seeing what damage they could do. Such a fine team, as far as their development has been. Other programs, Pace and Porter. I mean, they've got good coaches out there, and I wanted to see what Leo Samarripa could do. He's a first-year coach, a young man that I've known since he was very young. Boris Vega's doing a good job at Pace, and now I wanted to see what they were going to do. And I had the pleasure of seeing Boris. I played him on the 18th, and gave us a good game. I don't want to say he beat the crud out of us, but that's what he did. But it was a good, he's got a good team. Like I said, we struggle, but I was looking forward to that. Looking at the positive side of things. Fortunately, we have to do what we have to do. This pandemic is very serious. Something that we can't take lightly. And I think if we all stick together and do what we're supposed to do, hopefully we'll have a season this year, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, you spoke about Mercedes. I saw him against Rainer's group. It was one of the last games before everything got cut. I think it was probably the last softball game we aired. But no, Mercedes look great, and we talk about veterans as another one of those teams that looks young, and just like you guys, and you talk about the Porters and the Paces and how they're doing well and up and coming. It seems like you would know a little bit about that, especially the last 4 or 5 years. It seems like Lopez softball, got themselves on the map, getting to the playoffs and, playing very well. Have probably some of a pair of the best players in the area, in the Castro twins, Alexi and Alex. I mean, you've had some players. You've had some success in the past couple of years. Just how did you kind of get there to that point? Build a foundation, kind of doing what you're seeing some of these coaches do now. A successful program is not just coaching. It's a community. It's a community event. So if these parents in the area believe in the program, they'll stay. Unfortunately, Lopez isn't live in an area where people want to, and they want to move north, which is everything is north of us. Lopez, I mean, we're literally right next to the border wall. So it's difficult to get to everything. So, most people want to aspire to move out and maybe move a little further north, get closer to the mall and such. We tend to lose a lot of kids, the kids stay with our track coming up the feeder schools and into our program. We're going to be okay. We do need parent support. If we get the parents out there, and I have a tremendous group, like I said, I got a couple of phenomenal 8th graders that are coming in. I've got a couple of kids that are working in our feeder schools in the middle school. If they stay in the zone, if they stay, true to Lopez, we'll play against anybody here, Mark, in the next couple of years. I can tell you right now as a coach that I'll have no trouble here for the next few years if I get those kids. I got a tremendous set of parents right now that I'm dealing with, and I think with their support, they stick with us. We're going to be okay here for the next few years. Next year, we're going to rebuild next year. We're going to have 2 kids that I think are going to be tremendous. AJ Garcia and Anahi Granado, which I've been working with. They came in from our middle schools and tremendous kids. I mean, it's exciting to see talent, as they're coming through. So we stick together. We build our program. We're going to be okay. We should be back in there. We'll be back in the fight for sure, Mark. Yeah, and like I said, you guys have done it before. I mean, those those teams, those playoff teams a couple of years ago, they were no slouch. They were good outs for a lot of the schools, and you've seen it. And you talk about being in the zones that you guys are in, but the fact of the matter is there's a lot of talent. Like no matter what, there's still a lot of talent, even though people are moving out. There's still talent being funneled through every school right now, and it's just amazing to see just how many schools there are in Brownsville, but yet how deep the talent pool is there. So I mean, just especially in the last couple of years, how have you kind of observed that in the community and the talent of these kids?
Not only talent, I mean, I was fortunate enough to have a group of girls that not only were talented, but they were extremely dedicated. I mean, these girls absolutely love softball, and not just the Castro twins. I mean, I had others that were, they walked through fire just to get to the ball, and that's something that you need in an athlete, it's particularly a softball player, the game is a difficult game. It's a specific skill that you need to have, we tell the girl, don't treat you like a boy, we treat you like a girl, we treat you like a ball player, blah, blah, blah. So, but the reality is that a lot of the girls don't start throwing the ball till they're 12 years old. They don't put on a glove till they're 12 years old. And so when you have the kid who started early and they love the sport and they come out and they know what it takes and the dedication that's required of a good athlete, then you've got a good program. And it doesn't matter, Mark, if you have a kid who is dedicated and works hard, it doesn't matter, what kind of talent they have, as long as they show and they're there for you. And as a coach, you're there to develop programs. And so if you have a group of kids that come out and show up, and they show up in the summer and they show up in the fall, and they're there after school and they're serious, you're going to have a good program. Of course, pitching, that's the other side of the coin. If you have a good pitcher, that's everything, really. you have a good pitcher, you got somebody, who can throw the ball 58, 60 miles an hour. It's going to be very easy for you to develop a program. I mean, of course, you still have to build something behind her. You have to have an infield and outfield, which requires quite a bit of work. Just this week alone, I had my assistant coach who happens to be, and he'll remind everybody that he's 67 years old and has been doing this for a long time, but he's out there hitting fly balls, coach, and because he understands, and we know that you don't build an athlete by talking about fly balls. We got to hit fly balls. And so that's what we do at Lopez. I mean, we don't have too many resources in our families here. We have families who are modest, and, we have to provide a lot. And hitting fly balls is one thing we have to do. And it's something that these kids don't do. You have a kid who comes in with incredible talent, but it's raw and never put a glove on. And 2 years from later, can't drop a fly ball out there. You cannot hit it hard enough or fly high enough for her to miss it. And so that, to me, it's exciting, but it's the work that we put in, Coach. I mean, that's something that we do as coaches.
Yeah, and you talk about the other coaches that coming in. I mean, it takes a lot to build a program, and certainly you have done that. Just what was it? What was it like getting to the point where like prior to those playoff teams? Where was the turning point? When did you see this? The pure that there was going to be a chance that you guys could make something special, and you guys certainly did. Just at what point was there a turning point in your eyes?
Well, I think the first year I was there 6 years ago, we were in 6A and we were playing the big girls or the big groups, San Benito and Harlingen and such, and we played Hannah. First game against Coach Lerma over there, we came close to beating them, and our girls were shocked. They were just, one of the girls told me, "Hey, man, last year this team," and this is what she said. She said they raped us, and it's just infuriating. And I'm like, how can you say that? Well, they beat us really bad. I said, well, what are you going to do about it? Let's start working to get this, get our revenge right now. And this little girl's a humble young lady, she's like, well, what do I have to do? I said, well, just follow us, walk with us and we'll get you there. We beat Hannah the second round. We beat them soundly too. And Coach Lerma was, class act. He came, shook my hand and said, Coach, you're doing a good job. And the girls were awesome. And it's as a coach, you do a lot of work, but if the kids don't believe in what they're doing, if they don't believe in themselves, Coach, they're not going to want to win. They're not going to do it. And this group at that moment decided this team. You see the look in their eye, and I knew I could win that night. I was so confident. It was just, one of those intangibles where no matter what they do, we're going to beat them. And then we lose against Harlingen by 1 run in the bottom of the 7th inning with 2 outs, runner on 2nd and 3rd. And I'm doing everything I know to motivate these kids. And my last hitter just strikes out swinging, and we ran with that. And for the next 2 years, we made the playoffs. And the same group, they came out there and worked hard. And we played fundamental softball, ground balls and fly balls. That's what we did in practice. Pick up the routine, ground ball, throw a person out, and guess what? The stats are on your side. You're going to win more than you lose. And that's what we did for the next 2 years. This last year, we struggled. The year before that, we should have gone to the playoffs. We had some internal issues that we had to work out, some injuries that we couldn't resolve. We're very thin in terms of depth, but we were able to get close. Coach Adrian Lopez over at Donna, he wasn't going to make it easy for me, and he beat us at the end there, and he made it. We didn't. But I respect Coach Lopez. I've known him for a long time, too. So he deserved that win, and he deserved making the playoffs. But we're on our way back, Mark. Right now we've got 2, 3, 4, 5 ball players that are hungry. And if they stay hungry and if they remain hungry, we're going to come after people again. And that's what we're due. We're going to put up a fight, and, we're going to fight together.
Yeah, and certainly. I know me personally, one of the first softball beats that I got to whenever I arrived at the Brownsville Herald was watching you guys. And, that was the big story, Lopez making history as a softball program. Just, in the midst of that, just did the community rally around you guys? How was that like for you guys to kind of see, participation, fan participation coming to the parks now, like, a little bit more? Just how was that reaction from the community to you guys?
To me, it was awesome because we had people scouting us, and the girls were like, there was nobody in the stands before when we played. And, I would tell them, you see that guy sitting right there? You see that guy right there? They're scouting. They're coming to watch you because they respect you, and they think you're going to beat them. So, I'd see all the schools there watching this, taking notes because we had gained some respect. And that to me was something that the first year, I had 1 parent out there, maybe 2. And then after we started winning games, we were beating people by 15 runs and so on. And, this faculty and staff were like, what's going on out there? I said, well, come and see. And, our principal, very supportive, our administrators and everyone is awesome there. They were all out there, and we were shoulder to shoulder. And it was, to me, it was very exciting. I was a reporter for many years and had the pleasure of being on a program that won 8 district championships and went undefeated and so on. So my expectations were very high. It was something I was used to, So I told the girls, let's do this. And the group I had, Cassie Rubio and the Cuatas and, Leslie Solis, awesome kids, true ball players, big hearts, truly dedicated. And it's if you have that, you'll have the magic to do it. And it's magic really because we don't get girls falling from the sky here, Coach. We don't get girls at Lopez High School that have personal hitting coaches and personal pitching coaches. We beg, steal, and borrow from everything and everyone, we have to because we have humble people, but we have people that are true to you and work hard for you. And if you have that, you can have a couple of seasons like I had the pleasure of having with the girls the last few years.
Yeah, and it's certainly been a treat, Coach. And how is it out being it seems like you guys now, Brownsville has become such a, not only athletically rich, but softball rich. You mentioned all the successful teams around it now. It seems like the competition's been leveled off, and it seems like every night, it's always a competition, Brownsville versus Brownsville, but now with the competition and the athletes all kind of leveling off now, and it seems like every team's pretty competitive. How has that been? How do you think that helps programs, to have that inner city kind of struggle?
Well, it's better for everyone overall, Mark, because when I was at Porter and we had a tremendous program over there, we did play some teams that were weak. And so, you go through 6 games where there was very little competition. I think it's better for the districts. 32-5A, I can tell you that it's going to get better. These girls are better. If you look at everyone, Lopez, Donna, Porter, everybody has gotten better. And so what that does is that when you get to the playoffs, you'll have a team. You're gonna be used to that. And so when you face a good program, it's not going to be totally new to you. And so if we have one dominant program and everybody else is weak, the kids tend to get a little overconfident and they forget that, you have to compete every night. And it's very easy not to compete when you're playing weak teams. And I think overall, certainly in Brownsville and 32-5A, including Rivera, Coach Guzman is doing a great job over there. I mean, I don't know if you've seen them play. They're Coach Guzman's daughter over there is doing a tremendous job, throwing very hard. He's got good, but he's worked his butt off. I can tell you right now. I know him personally. I know what he's doing. He's got a tremendous group of parents also. So if we get more good programs, we're going to be better overall as a program, and hopefully, that will happen. We'll, even out the talent and play some good games in the next few years. Mark.
Awesome. And lastly, Coach, I know, like you said, these are different times. These are trying times. So you lose the summer. Hopefully, hopefully you'll have a chance. I know you talked about the league, and hopefully we'll have a chance for some of these girls to get out there and play. But you as a coach, if you want to portray a message to these athletes out there, kind of waiting in the wings to get out there, what would you tell them?
Be patient and do what's right, because we have to contribute and try to solve the problem. Because my wife and I came out here and we're sitting, we had to quarantine for a long time, and the pandemic is presently spiking. And if we make an effort as far as wearing a mask, staying at home as much as we can, things are going to get better. And if things get better, the park's open, we can play ball and we can practice. So that's the message I've been telling the kids that my ball players is, do the right thing, do what's necessary, and keep things safe for everybody. We will be back. And of course, staying at home doesn't mean you can't do anything. You've got to work out. You can run, you can do core work, you can do weights, you can do whatever, you can throw and hit. Just do something and stay dedicated to softball, and we'll be back. We certainly will. Awesome, Coach.
Coach, I know me personally, it's always a great honor to talk to you. It's always fun. We have our chats here and there during work, but I'm glad you're doing well, and I'm glad to see you guys are safe, you and your family. And I just want to thank you for being here with me today.
No problem, Mark. I appreciate you having me and listening this out. Okay.
Yeah, and appreciate that, Coach. And I just want to let everybody know we're still going to have Mark and Matt Ledesma, former Mercedes Tigers football players, coming on at 5 o'clock with Kevin Nato, I believe. And we're going to have more shows for you on Friday, 1, 3, and 5 here on the Sideline Sit Down. I want to remind everybody to go follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can find us on YouTube, Roku Network, Apple TV. We'll all be there. So if you want to view any of these videos or any other re-airs, we can also watch that stuff. So thank you for watching, guys. Coach, have a great day. Enjoy it. And thank you for being with me.
Take care.